Hello, this is Stan Smith, founder of Pushing Social and the author of Born to Blog. And I am going to do a quick training video for you to show you how to set up your own Facebook campaign. Now, if you are focusing on increasing your income or your side income from your blog, then I believe that Facebook is going to be an important tool for you. Now, Facebook is particularly useful because, first, about 1 billion people are on Facebook, meaning that there's a very good chance that your target audience is on Facebook, and there's a lot of great ways to get your message in front of them. The second thing is that I believe Facebook has made it really easy for the amateur to be able to set up a campaign and be able to get decent results from it. From decent results to very good results. Every time I've used Facebook for a campaign, I've been pleased with the results. And the next thing is that Facebook for now is still relatively cheap to use. So you can start a campaign and start getting some visitors to your blog for about anywhere from 25 cents to 75 cents. Of course, if the term is very competitive that you're going after, or the group of people that you're going after is very competitive, then your cost per click will be higher. But on average, I have found that Facebook is still very inexpensive to use for a lot of different products. So I want to take you through the process of setting up your campaign. Now, I can't go into a lot of depth because this is just a video, and a couple of things are going to be too sophisticated to kind of get real in depth with. But my hope is that you will get comfortable with the screens that I'm going to show you and the process, and then you'll be able to ramp up your sophistication after you have the basics figured out. Okay? So here you see that I'm at my Facebook page, and I'm actually on my page, not my personal profile. So I've navigated to my page here. So this is the Stanford Smith, or the Pushing Social HQ page, obviously with my logo here. Now what you want to look for is this Ads Manager up top here. You'll see this on pretty much every screen, or sometimes is in the navigation bar that's on the left hand side. Right now it's right here. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And that's going to bring up my ad interface. And as you see, I already have some campaigns that I have going or paused. So I'm actively promoting product on Facebook. Now, the first thing I do when I'm here is that I go to create an ad, which is the green button here. And Facebook gives me some options to work with in terms of promoting, or some options to work with in terms of sending people to my website. So I can send people to an external URL. So this is a URL outside the Facebook network, or I can send them to a particular page within Facebook. I can send them to my page, or I can send them to applications. In this case, I'm just going to say that I want to send them to Pushing Social. Okay, so I just want to send them to the home page. Now for you, what I would suggest is that you actually send them to a landing page. Okay, a landing page only has your offer on the front. There's nothing else there. It's just your offer. Only thing they can do is either buy it or exit out of the page. So that's what I would ask you to do. Now, in this case, let's say that I want to promote my new free 50 tweaks, or my 50 blog design tweaks ebook that I have. So I would just put a headline here, and you will use basically the same headline rules that you will use for your blog. Make it relevant, make it interesting, and pique people's curiosity. So here I'm just going to simply say how to easily transform, or how about this? 50 quick and easy blog design tweaks. And as you see here, we're 6 characters over our limit. So we're going to have to start taking out some things here. So I'm just going to say 50 easy blog design tips. Let's see if that gets me below just barely gets me below the 1 character mark. So as you see here in this headline, I like using numbers because that gives people the impression that the information is well organized, and the numbers is very attractive since it's just a quantity and it's specific. Okay. Then in the text I'm doing to let people know that it's for free because that's my number one selling benefit. So I would say free ebook, free book reveals 50 clever, easy, and no cost tweaks to make your blog look great and attract readers. As you see, I'm over my limit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to take out the 50 since we already said that's in the headline. So this is going to be 50 free book reveals clever, easy, and no cost tweaks. So I'm going to take out clever because I think people are more, they just care about it being easy and if they're not expensive. Okay. So we said free ebook reveals easy and no cost tweaks. We'll just say blog design tweaks. So we can take out this last part, design tweaks to attract, to impress, that will impress your readers. Let's see if we can get that under. So that's barely there, but we're good. So this says free ebook reveals easy and no cost blog design tweaks that will impress your readers. Okay. Now I might spend some more time with that and wordsmith that a little bit more, but I think for now this gets across what I want it to. Now let me go. You know what? I'm going to see if I can just send people to a specific page on my site so I can use my graphic from that page. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going over to Pushing Social, and I just wrote about this in a blog post. So I can actually go directly to that page. And what I'm going to do is when I go to this page, I'm just going to grab the URL for that page because I'm going to use that as the URL for this particular ad. So we're going to go up to here and I'm going to replace that with this URL. Okay. And from there, hopefully we'll get different options. I would like to see if I can use a different option here. No, it doesn't look like I can, but what I can do is to replace my photo, I just have to hit, I think I might have done that a little bit too quick for you. I hit the upload image here. And I always like to get an image that looks pretty good and it gets across my subject. So when people see it, they can instantly kind of go, okay, I know what that is. And that really helps me visualize the product. Okay, so you can use this or you can use a book cover image that you might have. So it's totally up to you. Let me see if I can find a book cover image that I think will look great. I think I have one in my downloads folder here. Let's go down to the bottom here. Yep, I do. I do have a nice little 3D graphic cover that we can use there as well. That's a little bit different, makes people look at it. My Pushing Social red pops. I really like that. So after we've done that, you're going to get some other option. You get a news feed format, which I don't necessarily want this to show up in a news feed. That's fine. The right column format, I want to leave that there, so that's good. And then after that, we can start getting into the nuts and bolts of targeting this campaign. So from here, you can start to choose your audience by age, gender, and you can start to really narrow down your search or narrow down the audience that will see this. I like to get as specific as I can. Okay, so I definitely want to make sure that I'm appealing to the people in the United States, but I also have many people who read Pushing Social in the United Kingdom and, for that matter, Australia. So I want to make sure I put those three locations there. Now, I'm going to be eventually selling a product that I think people will want to buy. And it's not going to be $1. It's going to be something that's probably a $600 product at a later point. I want to keep that in mind because I don't want my ad to be wasted on people who can't buy. So although I know that there's some age 13-year-old youngsters out there who have some cash from their allowance, I'm just going to be safe and I'm going to actually move this up to 25 and over. So this is most likely someone who already has a job, hopefully. Okay. And I'm just to be safe, I am going to just put, well, no max is fine there, but I'm just going to put 25 to 55 just to narrow down my audience just a bit. And you have gender, all men and women, we'll leave that for now. But sometimes I actually do just narrow it down to a gender. I know that many of my readers are women, so sometimes I target my ads specifically at women. Now, precise interest is where this gets really useful. I can actually type in here blogging, and what Facebook will do is go in there and see are there any precise is there any precise interests that I can take a look at. And here I see there's a blogging precise interest, so I can click that, and now this is taking it down from 200 million people to about 94,000 people who have this precise interest in blogging. Okay, so you can go that route, or you can say, well, listen, I just want to talk to people who are in business, who are small business owners. Okay, and I just know that small business owners are likely looking at different things that can be used to market their business, and they may be looking at a blog. So that's probably a good place for me to start as well. You see, when I've changed that to a broader category with a very specific group of people, you see that my audience went up. It went up from 90 something thousand to 8 million people in the United States, the UK, and Australia. And it's giving me my suggested bid. And what this is Facebook's estimate of how much it will take for me to pay to get my ad in front of that person in a reasonably good position. So this is something good to take a look at. Okay, now you can narrow this down even further if you like. So you have mobile users, you have other broad categories that you can take a look at. You can also take a look at interests here. You can look through your interests to see if there's anything broad that people may be looking for. And you also can put in other precise interests that you may be interested in looking at. So like marketing has an audience of 29 million people there. There's some precise interest in marketing. So you can further refine your audience targeting. Okay. And here I just clicked on email marketing just to see what was there. Okay. And I'm just going to take that out. So that's where we are right now, and we can get started with that particular interest selection. Now, as we move down, we have campaign pricing here. So we'll name our campaign, we'll call it the 50 blog design tweak campaign. You can set a campaign budget. So I like to start off with 20 bucks a day, and of course I watch that just to see how well I do. And then run my campaign continuously starting today. That's fine. And you can track conversions on my website. So if you click this, Facebook will give you a small piece of code that you can place on your site so you can start tracking your conversions. I always do this. I can't do it for this particular video because it gets a little bit complicated in terms of navigating to your website's backend and putting in that code, but Facebook actually provides some really good tutorials on how to do that. Here under optimization, you get two options. One is that automatically optimize my budget to get more clicks. So you basically tell Facebook that do whatever you can to get me as many people as possible to click on my ad. Okay, or you can manually bid for clicks. So what that means is that if you tell Facebook to automatically do it, it will move up or it will adjust your per click price to make sure that you get clicks. You might end up paying more than you want to or eating through your $20 budget very quickly. If you set your clicks yourself, you may not get as much traffic, but you'll get a feeling for how much you want to spend of this daily campaign budget. Okay, so when I start out, I usually allow Facebook to optimize it for me because I just want to see what level or what I need to pay per click. So I let Facebook do that work for me. And Facebook, after a little bit of time, you'll go back in here, you'll see that you're either paying $1 a click or you're paying 50 cents a click. And then you can switch this over to manually bid for clicks and move it up or down. You also can optimize for impressions, and that just means that you want to make sure that instead of your ad getting clicked, you just want to make sure your ad is seen as many places as possible. And this is really good if you're doing a branding campaign when you just want to get a picture or a message or a tagline in front of people and you don't necessarily care if they click through your ad. It's just like buying billboard space on Facebook. So if that is the route you want to go, then you want to take a look at optimize for impressions. But of course, I want people to click. So I'm going to go for optimize for clicks. And then we're going to review our ad here just to take a look at what it looks like. You can see here 50 easy blog design tips, free book reveals, easy and no cost blog design to excel and impress your readers. And I think that's pretty good. One thing you may have noticed is I actually say book instead of ebook. I've done some testing and people feel a lot more comfortable buying a book. An ebook gives people pause because they believe that they don't have the software to read it. So even though most software or the Adobe PDF Reader software is embedded in every browser, you do have a certain amount of people who will not take action because they're afraid that they won't be able to read the book. So I always change this to book now, just to make sure that once they get to the site, they realize that they can actually read it and I can explain it there. And we're going to go ahead and place that order. Now, it says your ad was created successfully. You can see the ad here. It looks like it's great. It's going to reach 8 million people living in the United States, UK, Australia. Here's our age groups, and we're good to go. Now, you can see here in this status, it's pending review. And what is being reviewed is that the Facebook team takes a look at it, make sure that this complies with their terms and conditions and their guidelines. If you don't do anything too risky here, you're fine. Most of the time, it does get approved, and if it does not, they'll tell you what you need to do to fix it. Okay? And then once this starts running, you'll start seeing these metrics populate. You really want to take a look at your average price. Okay? You want that price to be as low as possible. So you can get it lower by narrowing your audience, by looking for or selecting different interest or precise interests, or you can change your ad design to get more clicks, because if you get more clicks for the amount that you're paying, then your cost per click will go down. So you definitely want to keep an eye on this campaign as you move forward. So that right there is just a quick way to start your own Facebook ad campaign. And I encourage you to do this to kind of get a jump start on building your income from your blog.